I was saying you will be able to find these in other cars, but your best bet, you're most likely to find it on Studebakers. Okay, the Hawk, Silver Hawk, Golden Hawk, something like that. Okay, I'm not sure of the years, but you know, scrapyards will sort of best place to find this if you're trying to save money. If not, just buy it from the internet. But you'll see that this side is much bigger than this side, and on the smaller side, there's two little slots here, and they will fit into this little bearing here. It's called a thrust washer, I believe. Yes, it's called a thrust washer. See that there's two little dents on one side here. There's the two dents. And they'll fit in here so that it doesn't turn. See that? And this thing is so interesting because one side is copper. See, copper. The other side is steel. It's like welded together. It's not, you know, you can't separate them. It's one thing, which is really, really interesting. Why they do this? Because copper is softer, so it won't wear out the other side. There's going to be another washer here. So, you know, the more washers there are, the more surfaces there are, less friction. You know, you'd much rather wear out a washer than the gear. Okay, so the washer's cheap and you know, you can easily change it. Whereas the gears are expensive, right? So now here, this is probably the most difficult part of this assembly. Now, just before I start, you'll see that two of the thrust washers, they're about the same size. No, not about, they're actually the same size. Okay, I don't know why they have these little Mickey Mouse holes here. I'm not sure of that. This one has 4, this one has 2. I don't know why. But these two, they will go together. Okay? So this one side will go to the gear. Here's the gear. Just show you, I guess. Side goes to the gear like that. And this other side, doesn't matter which way it goes, will go here. Okay? And this little tab here, tab on the top, will fit into you'll see that there's a little, you know, little dent on the round portion on the transmission case. And the big thrust washer obviously goes on the bigger end, and it has a little tab on this. Tab obviously goes the other way around, because don't put it like this, right? See, there's a space now between the washer and the gear. You don't want that. This way. It's just sit nice and flat against it. Next, now that we have that, here comes, this is probably this is the only, you know, slightly difficult part of the process. Here's the here's the shaft. And here's a spacer. It goes in like this. A little bit of play there. And then this will go inside here. Like so. And now here's the tricky part. On here, on both ends, there's those little needle bearings. They're little tiny cylinders, okay? Now the thing is, this here, the way it is now, it won't fit in there. It won't fit in the case without me removing the shaft here, and I'll show you why in just a second. But the problem is, I told you guys in a previous video that with those little cylinders, they'll hold themselves in place. That's true for the bigger ones, but for the little ones, once I remove this, they'll all fall down. Okay. So, in order for you to put them, what you have to do is called the dummy shaft. You have to get a dummy shaft. On the manual it says dummy shaft has to be machined to 0.677 inches by 5 7/8. So the length is 5 7/8, and the diameter is that number, 0.677 fucking inches. I hate inches. Now, why do they want it that length? So that it fits in here, in place of the main shaft. And then what you do is you get the main shaft, you get the actual shaft, and you slide it out. At the same time, you're pulling the pushing the new shaft in, like that. That way, the needle bearings, they don't fall out, and that you're gonna understand this in just a second. But what I'd like to say is here, why do they want it 5 7/8 long? Okay, why that measurement? So that it fits exactly in here. Okay, that's the reason. So what I'm gonna do is here, instead of going to the machine shop, I actually looked around the house and actually found it was a little child's broomstick. Okay, just a piece of wood. And it's pretty close to the size of the shaft there. So all I'm going to do now, instead of actually measuring 5 7/8, I'm just going to put it in here and cut it so that it's exactly the same width as the inside part of the transmission here. I'm going to turn it while I mark it. So that we get a perfect circular mark. Okay. Show you what the problem is, why you have to do that. Shaft here. Here's another interesting thing. If you put it the wrong way, either way, it won't go in. You see, so this is the back here. You see, it won't go in. If I put it through the right way, here's the wrong side of the shaft and the right side of the right hole. It won't go in. Here's the right side of the shaft on the right hole, and it will go in, you see. And by the way, once again, this one has another slot that will connect to the slot in the reverse idler gear. Remember? Used to go like this. You'll see later on. But it's good to just put it in place before you push it all the way in. But anyways, the point here is, see, there's only space here. The space, it's only enough for the shaft. So if I put the shaft in, how am I going to put, with the gears back, how am I going to put the the bearings inside? Here are the bearings. I'll show you one. Here's what they are. See, they're tiny little things. See there? Right, they're not big at all. There's 13 of them. See, they're tiny. Therefore, that's why we need to do this. In an ideal such situation, they actually wouldn't remove this bottom part, or they would remove it, because once you do this, the gears fall out and the bearings fall everywhere inside the case. So in order for that not to happen, what you would do is, as you're removing the shaft, you're putting a substitute in, just like the movies where, you know, there's a bag, this thief is gonna rob a like a diamond or something from a jeweler's shop. There's a laser and a weight, or a weight. What he does is he quickly removes that weight of the diamond, and he puts a substitute weight in. That's sort of what we're doing here, okay? So basically, as we're removing the shaft, through the right way, obviously. Here's removing the shaft. Here's where the shaft goes, like that, right? Sort of like that. I'm not going to push it all the way in. As you're removing the shaft, you're pulling a substitute in, right, like that, okay? So now the bearings are still in there. they don't fall out because there's a shaft in there. Right. But in my case, we did have to remove everything completely because there was a lot of, you know, dirt, shit, and rust. So there's no escaping it. I had to do it. Okay, but you could actually cut it a little smaller. It's not a problem. You have an idea. It's just slightly bigger than the gear here, the dummy shaft. Why don't you want to cut it longer? Because then it won't fit in here. I have to drop this gear here inside with the little bearings here inside like this. Right, you'll see what I mean. If this is all together like this, look, it's impossible for you to put it in. You see? See? It doesn't fit. Because the shaft has to be put from the outside. So that's why. Just give me a second and I'll cut this. You can either go to the machine shop or you can look around the house for something with the diameter close to the shaft. Now let's say you didn't have anything, you didn't have any rounded parts. Well, all you have to do is get, you know, a little piece. You can get a sheet of paper, you could get a sheet of rubber, whatever. You know, just roll it until it's the width that's desired here. I mean, if you want to measure it, go ahead. 0.677 inches, right? Or just forget about measurement. Just see what you're supposed to do with it. You know, just roll up a piece of paper or pieces of paper until you get this the width of the shaft here. That's it, right? Remember, this is only temporary. We're not going to leave it there just to prevent the little rollers from falling out. Okay, in my case, I just looked around, had this piece laying around here. So I'm going to use it. But no, it's not. You don't have to go to the machine shop, waste your money. No reason, you know. You don't have to do that. Because, why? Because you know what you're doing. You understand the reasoning behind things. You don't have to, you know, follow everything blindly. I wish they would actually say the reason for this in the manual. But I mean, once you're working with these things, it is pretty straightforward. Okay, let's put it inside, see if it fits. It's a little too tight still. It has to go in there. Just cut a little bit more out. This one hand, ideally you'd have to take it. If you cut a little smaller, it doesn't matter. If you cut a lot smaller, then it will matter because it won't hold the cylinders in place. Okay, who would imagine you'd be doing a little bit of woodwork, working with the transmission. So, oh, here, look, for example, if you don't have that, here, just roll something up like that. See, like that, for example. See? There we have it, dummy shaft. Look, you see? There you go. Put a piece of tape around it. And that's it. Tape around here. That's it. Simple, straightforward. Let's see if it can fit now. Yeah, it fits. So now, what I'll do is I'm going to bring the camera closer here. Let you see what we're going to do. It is going to be a little tricky because at the same time, I've got to hold those washers in place. What those washers do is they make everything nice and snug. Make that big gear with 4 gears all snug. Upon a time I was falling in love. Now I'm only falling apart. Nothing you can do. Turn the crimps of the heart. Turn around bright eyes. Go, you see? The washer. I actually find it soft and easier. Oh fuck, it's like this shaft might be a little too thin. Oh yeah, hang on, I forgot to mention something. There's these little tiny washers here, and they go around the shaft like that. Or now they go around the dummy shaft. They go, spacer washers. Supposed to be 2 on each side, but I only have 2. I don't have 4. If I put them somewhere else, I don't think so. Put everything together. But anyways, let's see. It's supposed to go underneath there like that. If you do happen to, you see, fuck, it just fell inside. Fuck. Might just have to put some rubber or something around it. Make it thick. Let's see. Let's see if I can get away with this. Because you can see, guys, I didn't try it before. Maybe I should have tried it before doing the video. I was pretty certain this would work. I noticed it was a little smaller, but let's see. Should work. Fuck, be careful. See, I almost dropped. Hang on, I'm missing something here. How did I do this yesterday? I kind of forgot. This other washer wasn't supposed to be. Seems that it wasn't this small yesterday. Maybe I was holding it, probably. Because remember, there's the other half. So if I put it, I'm gonna put my finger in there, just to hold it a proper length here. Understand what I'm saying, but just so that these bearings here, and you see I have a little pan underneath, so that in case they fall, you know. fall inside the pan and not on the floor. Fuck, if they fall on the floor, I'll never ever find them again. Yeah, guys, if they were bigger, you wouldn't need this because they'd sort of hold themselves in place there. Another option that you do have is put grease, really thick grease. This is just enough. If you make it too small, then they will go on top of each other. But here they're just actually the right size there. Just what I'll do now is I'm going to put that washer on this side so that it doesn't fall out. Now I flip it around. But, oh fuck, there's a hole coming out. One of them fell out. Oh yeah, it fell out through one of the holes in the washer. So I'm going to put both washers already. Like that. Oh yeah, fuck. Both washers have holes. Just have to move this around so that their holes don't align with each other. Fuck. This is a flaw in the design, guys, okay? If I had done it, it wouldn't have been designed this way. It's really dumb design, unfortunately. You know what, I'm just gonna use... Okay, looks like we're good there. Let's see. Yeah. So hopefully by now you understand what I'm doing here. I have to tilt it onto the side again. Easier to put it when it's on its side. So try putting it when it's vertical, they'll just fall inside. Let's get most of them, One of them falls out, it's not a big deal putting them in. But if you remove this shaft, it'll just all fall out. No, I can't turn this vertically at all. Fuck, I forgot to put the washer. God damn. This washer. Still good on this side. Oh fuck. As I moved it, it fell out. Fuck. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna get a little bit of tape and put it at least temporarily, I'm thinking. Okay, let's try this again. It is going to require a little bit of patience. If I had some grease here, if it starts to become a bitch, I'm just going to try it a couple times like this. If not, I'll just put some grease. Oh, but grease has those dangerous additives. Guys, there's only two materials in this transmission: cast iron and those synchro mesh gears, which aren't even completely necessary for a good driver. And the other thing, the other material, yeah, I mean that material, they're brass, okay? It's not, I mean, cast iron, guys, it's pretty indestructible. I'm just going to use my fingers there, should be good. And brass, you know, it's not like it's going to be destroyed immediately. It's not, you know, sulfuric acid or some shit like that. Okay? And besides, if you do happen to need the grease, you know, all you have to do is clean it up later. Dump some gasoline, remove the grease, let it evaporate. There, you're good. It's nice and clean, just like it was before. And I forgot to put the goddamn washer again. Talking too much. Fuck. Fortunately, everything's still in place because I kept my finger there, so we're still good. Ah, washer. Shut up and put the washer. There we go. I'm just about on the limit here. This shaft here, this dummy shaft should have been a little bit bigger ideally. But it looks like it's going to work. Then if I don't, probably won't be able to finish this here by the end of the video, but no, this is, well, let's see, maybe. Okay, there we go. Put the other washer here. Just carefully, let me get this cloth here. If I just put it on a hard surface, it'll just move. Put it on the cloth, it'll stay put. There we go. That's how we need it. I'm just gonna look. The video is gonna end in about 2 minutes, 20 seconds now. I'm just gonna look for, see if I have the other washers. But I'm pretty sure it was just those two. I'm just gonna look just in case, just to check. There's a solenoid, by the way. Nice and clean. I tested it. I'll show you later how to test it. Later I'll show you guys how to test that.